Hello and welcome to a very special Franchise Hockey Manager of 5 stream. My name is Adam. I'm the Community Manager of Franchise Hockey. Not with me as always and not pictured on your screen is FHM producer Jeff because, well, frankly, he's pretty busy these days. We're getting very close to the release of Franchise Hockey Manager 6 coming out October 11th. If you pre-order now from our website, which is ootpdevelopments.com, you will be able to get access to the open beta if you pre-order on October 7th. So time is quickly approaching. Now, if you are here or seeing this on our YouTube page, as this will likely get archived, I've kind of pushed and kind of jumped ahead in our Quebec Nordiques franchise because, well, there's something I want to do. I want to do on Wednesday this next week for our next live stream. And to do that, I need to play through the season. So what happened in the season? Well, you can see the end result. We won the back-to-back Stanley Cups. Woo! Much to a lot of stress. So let's look at actually how the team performed here. So we look at our stats summary. Kyle Kernovic came through 86 points in 77 games, 36 goals, 50 assists, which was a slight down from the year before, but again, he was hurt for a couple more games, so he also played a little bit less minutes. Hey, Tuke, thanks for coming. William Nylander, over a point per game, 78 points in 74 games. Again, little bit of point drop, but he played in a few less games. Kravtsov, 76 points in 73 games. That's our number one line. That's parts of our number one line. William Nylander's not on our number one line. So Kravtsov's had a better year. Shane Gosper, 68 games, put up 63 points. He had a bit of fitness issues, so he spent some time going back and forth with foot. Josh Morrissey, through 80 games, had 57 points. His first full year with us. Played as well as could be expected. And Emil Jacobson, this is the guy who was our hero last year. Made it into all 82 games, improved off his 19-goal rookie campaign to 20 goals, and had significantly more assists, up to 34, up to 54 points. So good job on him. Theo Rocher, again, our number one center, went from 16 goals, 24 assists, 40 points last year to 22 goals, 31 assists for 53 points. Damian Gardner, the rookie playing our second-line center, put up 15 goals, 22 assists for 37 points in 82 games. Really great numbers from our rookie centerman. Hampus Lindholm got hurt a lot this year, only got into 58 games, put up 30 points. So 3 less than last year, but he played more games last year. Another rookie, Mr. Brad Lambert, our former number one pick, got up to 2.5 stars, put up 14 goals and 16 points and 14 goals, 16 assists for 30 points, playing limited kind of third line minutes. So again, he averaged 14 minutes a game. I'm actually pretty happy with that overall. We'll talk more about why. Adam Lowry, 28 points. So a little bit down from last year, but playing a few less minutes. Another one of our big rookies here we had was Carl-Etienne Michael. Defenseman, played 78 games for us, 5 goals, 22 assists, 27 points. Tuke in the chat says, I'm betting the secret to winning the cup or mustard packets on the bench. I thought that was pretty funny too. And if you're missing that, well, the Winnipeg Jets... who was it on the Jets, Tuke? It was the guy who came from Columbus, who they signed, whose name I'm suddenly just drawing complete blank on. He was caught shooting mustard packets in the middle of the game. Apparently it helps with cramping. So, I don't know. Maybe that's going to be a storyline at some point. I could see that. Or adding some messages. Well, I'll have to talk to Jeff about that. Overall, everybody's doing better. Newsom Bomber had 2 less points than last year, a lot less goals, but he was playing a lot less minutes, so that's fine. Stahl was way down in points, but he's dropped to 2 stars, and he went from second line to fourth line, and he lost most of his power play time. So overall, not bad. One of the most disappointing things this year, actually, was probably Ilya Sorokin. We'll just kind of move these guys up. So Sorokin got into 67 games this year. Jari played in 20. And you can see Sorokin's numbers were nothing to write home about. Neither were Jari's, but 271 with a 907 save percentage. Jari was 282 with an 899. Basically, one of the big things... Letestu, thank you, Tuke. Trackpad, mustard packets, uncontrolled substance list. Well, you never know, I guess. One of our big things this year was we could not get Sorokin hot. And Jari couldn't get hot, so it was really tough. Sorokin, you can see, is at heat level 5 for the playoffs. So he turned it on in the playoffs, which made a huge difference for us. But in the regular season, he was kind of dragging it out. But what happened in the playoffs? Well, let's look at the goalie stats. Start there with the playoffs. Sorokin played in all 21 games and went down to a 244 goals against and got up to a 918 save percentage. That was a big deal for us. I mean, he improved 0.09 save percentage, which gave us a bit of leeway on what we needed to do. In terms of our stats summary for playoffs, you can see here the key thing was Krnavik came back and was ready and healthy and ripped it up with 30 points. Ghost Bear was actually named the MVP of the playoffs. In 20 games, he put up 20 points. But the rookies came to play. Brad Lambert, after only putting up 30 points in the regular season, put up 17 in 21 games in the playoffs. 7 goals, 10 assists. Huge numbers for us. Huge numbers. Even at that, we had Jacobson come through again, 9 points in 21 games. Damian Gardner put up 7 points in 21. Etienne Michael, who played one of the most important parts for us, stepped his game up, got 7 points in 21 games. But if you followed the story on Twitter, you would have seen me screaming very loudly. And it was probably a good thing I wasn't streaming because I was getting very frustrated. Injuries were piling up. You can see everybody's on vacation, but Josh Morrissey is out with a fractured skull. He's out indefinite. We got told 10 months. So we'll be lucky to get him back next year for the playoffs. Not great. Josh Manson, 2 to 3 weeks with a lacerated forearm tendon. Lost him for the playoffs. And then we lost... No, I didn't put anyone. Who else did we lose? Hampus Lindholm was hurt for a while, too. We look at his history. High ankle sprain. So he was gone for most of the important games in the playoffs. So we were left with Andreas Borgman, who came through again for us. Man, this guy has come in clutch. Right time. Just has played steady and helped us get 2 cups. What a late season signing he has been. And then we called up, and I'm just trying to see here. We had to call up Mikko Kokkonen. 2-star talent, 3.5-star potential. He took a long time, but he's finally up to 2 stars. We drafted him way back in the second round of 2019. We traded up to go get him, if I remember right. It was quite a while ago now. Hey, P-Wog, thanks for coming. And he's finally started to come. And what that led to was some very heartbreaking, and we'll go back to the standings here. You can see the playoff tree. We lasted a 7-game series versus Buffalo, barely squeaking by. But then we swept Ottawa. We put losing defensemen. We put a beating on Tampa Bay. And then in the Stanley Cup final, we went against the Kings and destroyed them. It felt so good and so satisfying to win our second back-to-back Stanley Cup. Now, I wanted to stream it, but it just wasn't going to work out for how this was going to need to work. So that's why I kept people informed on our Twitter account, which is @FranchiseHockey. So if you go on there now, whether you're seeing it now on Twitch or if you're watching this on YouTube, you can go back to, this is September 27th of 2019. And you can see my frustration and anger as things got up and down. One of the other important things we did, that I did yesterday when I was simming everything, was also went through the trade deadline, which we didn't make a huge amount of moves, but because we had amassed so many second round picks, I decided we needed, and some earlier 6th and 7ths and a couple thirds, I decided we need to try and trade up. So you can see here, we got Washington and Vancouver's first round pick. Now, we had got Washington's second round pick, so we sent it back with a 3rd, a 6th, and a 7th, and they gave us our first. Sorry, gave them their first. I'm not saying this right. Let me try this again. Wow, this is bad. We got their first rounder for giving up 4 picks. Then we went to Vancouver and said, we want your first round pick. We gave up a 2nd, a 4th, a 6th, and a 7th as well to get their first round. Now, Vancouver's doing a little bit better in the standings than Washington, but we figured, you know what? Instead of having 4 second round picks, why not change these into first round picks and see what happens? So we cut down significantly. We can see here on our picks this year. So we actually have 3 first rounders, 2 second rounders, a 3rd, 4th, and a 5th. That's all we have this year, which isn't actually bad because we do have some guys coming. But the key thing here is, and if I click on our NHL entry draft order, we can see we actually got a top 10 pick. More importantly, we got the number 7 pick. Washington had a bad half after the trade deadline and dropped, and suddenly they found themselves in 7th, which means we have some very excellent picks. So we're picking at 7, we're picking at 18, and we are picking at 32, which is big news for us. So that's awesome. We got some nice picks throughout the first round, so we can see what's coming. Other than that, here's kind of a key thing. Nolan Foote didn't want to resign. I tried to get him. He only wanted a 1-year deal for $2.222 million. I tried to offer him a 3-year deal. He got kind of upset about that. You can see his negotiation mood is very angry. But he says he's not interested in more. So I tried this already. I'll submit the offer again. I don't think he'll probably sign it still, but at least we have him qualified. The big thing, though, is, and the decisions we're going to have to make here is, if we just click on current ability, Josh Manson, our captain, is a free agent. He's 32 years old. He's making $4.81 million, and he's only 2.5 stars. Adam Lowry, who has been a rock on our 3rd or 4th line, $4 million, 2.5 stars. Also a free agent. There's some other guys here, but honestly, I'm not really worried about losing most of them. Maybe Mutala will actually just give him an offer right now. He wants basically a minimum qualifying offer, which we'll do, but we're going to offer him a 2-way contract. We'll say $175,000 to be in the minors. And he seems okay with that, so that's good for us. Anybody else on this list, I'm not too terribly worried about losing. But Manson and Lowry are the ones we need to make a decision again. Oh, Tuke for sure. He could absolutely be opened. Like Jackson Nelson is, again, he's 1.5 stars, though he hasn't really taken that next jump up. Maybe we just kind of let him be, non-tender him. Henry Nikkanen, actually, yeah, we should send him a contract offer too. And again, we'll offer him same thing, $175,000 to be in the minors, which he should accept. He got into a few games at the end when we needed somebody because he's at 2 stars. Spacek's going to be gone, though. Max Jones going to be gone. Dan Vladar, time for him to go. 26. We'll see if we can find somebody else. If not, we'll maybe talk to him again in free agency. So I'm looking for input on what Manson and Lowry. I haven't made them contract offers because, well, let's look at the depth chart here. So we have Manson is actually ranked our 6. He's ranked our 6th best defenseman. Ryan Murray is right behind him. Mikko Kokkonen could possibly step right in, and he's got higher potential still. Cal Foot's, kind of right there. Andreas Borgman's been a great number 7 defenseman. Adam Jennings kind of close. Aiden De La Gorgengia has started making that big one. So do we let our captain walk away? Don't forget we have 3 first-rounders. And then Adam Lowry. He's our number 4 rated center. But we look at the guys coming. Jack Bedini could probably fill that, even though he's not putting up a lot of points. William Eklund got in some games. Put up 71 points in 74 games in the AHL this year. I mean, probably could fill that role too. Alex Titier. Again, 37 points, 76 games. Might be able to come in and do that too. Henry Nikkanen. So I'm really torn on that. David Mattis, going to be right there, ready to come up too. And that's kind of the thing. So he doesn't have center rating, but we do have some other guys. So, I mean, if we look, guys coming, Paul Toilette is not very far. Richard McNeely, the guy we drafted, he's a ways off. David Mattis is going to be close. Keenan's coming. And so I'm just a little bit torn on that. So again, really looking for input. Are there any decent free agents upcoming? Well, we can take a quick look at that by going to our front office tab and going upcoming free agents. I did a quick sim, and Steven Stamkos was one. He's still listed as top, probably going to be there. Anze Kopitar is there right now. Jonathan Taves, old man Taves. Kyle Connor has some center ability, so that could honestly be someone we look at too. Robert Thomas. To me, I'm looking at this going, probably, I don't think we should tender him. Dylan. I didn't plan on spending any more money on video games this month. Then you announce FHM6. You gate you guys? I'm assuming you mean hate. Oh, come on. You don't have to order it till next month, so don't spend any month in September. Problem solved, Dylan88. P-Wog says... Yeah, Yeah. Tuke says, I think both are going to start regressing soon. You should probably let them go. That's kind of where I'm in. But if we brought in somebody like Kopitar or Stamkos, they're still going to be dropping anyways. But it depends what he wants, I guess, in free agency too. So we could have a rookie or somebody. And it doesn't mean we can't re-sign Adam Lowry once we get there. So let's go to the NHL draft. Because that's why you're here. Just looking, we should... 3, 4... We could be looking at kind of a Billy Nash. Or there are some players ready to go. Look at this guy. Jonathan Leger. 3 stars already. That guy is a bona fide superstar. 3-star talent ready to go. Ooh. So we're going to have some decisions to make. Oh, look, it's Alexander Yashkin. Interesting. So let's pick until human so we can see what happens. Oh, Legier actually went second to Montreal. Come on. Jeff Kiprios goes first to San Jose. Sebastian Liggett, Billy Nash. Okay, Billy Nash went faster than expected. Sal Hyde and Radek Tupi. Goaltender goes 6th overall. So now here's a defenseman we could take right now. Brandon Ignatieff. 2.5-star talent, 4.5-star potential. This guy can probably immediately jump in and take the spot. P-Walk, I didn't really see a question there. I don't know what you're asking. I think this is the guy, right? I mean, let's look at a scouting report. Ignatieff seems prone to injuries. That's a little rough, but he's not really that miscolored. A little bit, but not bad. Oh, boy. Ignatieff is a little too concerned about how much money he makes. Has no tolerance for change. Ooh. P-Wog, that's going to be a question for Jeff. I don't want to give you an answer on that because I don't know. I don't know for sure. But I think that's a guy we take. 4.5 stars, ready to go now. Ready to play. Could be an answer to our defensive question immediately. Does seem to get hurt a bit, though. But I think he's worth the risk. With 3 first-round picks. I will ask for you, P-Wog, and see if I can get an answer. Dylan88 says, guess I will pre-order FHM6. Saving 10% is pretty nice. Yes. If you pre-order now, you will save 10%. If you want it on Steam, you can get it. You will be able to get a 10% discount there, too. But you won't get access to the early beta. So we're going to pick Until Human again. So we've taken a defenseman. There's only one 4-star potential guy left. I'm not sure I completely believe that, though. So let's look for these guys with high potential. That's not exactly outstanding numbers there. Do we take another defenseman? Take Jeff Pope? Tell me more about Jeff Pope. Can play both defensive sides. Probably going to college. That's okay. Yeah, I think we take Jeff Pope. Let's grab Jeff Pope. And we pick Until Human again, which brings us to the 32nd pick in our pick. How about a trivia giveaway? Not right now, P-Wog. Not right now. I would actually love to take a goaltender here, but doesn't seem like that's going to happen too easy. So taking a quick look here. Matt Veljakov. Not sure on that. Nick Parker, 42 points in 68 games. All right, that is interesting to me. Tell me more about Mr. Nick Parker. Looks like a mostly healthy guy. It says he's injury prone too. I'm not sure on that. Be like Andrew Kopp. That's not a bad thing. Pressure is Parker's middle name. All right, that's it. What we need is guys just like that. So we're going to draft him. All right, so we have our 3 first-round picks done. Moving on to the second round. And we actually have back-to-back picks, 35 and 36, in the second round. Nice. So, should we take Mr. Yashkin? He's been waiting here. Not as good as his ratings say, but... those first 2 personality things have me worried. Yashkin is not known for being loyal to his teams. Yashkin knows what he's worth and expects to be paid for it. Extremely prone to injuries. Didn't look that bad to me. Makes me a little bit worried for sure. Okay, here we go. How about Mark Blasco? 18 years old. Show me the scouting report. Doesn't want to change teams frequently. I like that. Defensive play, good. Takes his training seriously. Physical. Weakest part of his game is his goal scoring. But nothing is bad for serious liability. Sounds like a good... Not really adaptable to new scenarios. Okay, I think that's going to be the guy. Unless we take Austin Hainsworth. Talk to me about his scouting. Not known to be loyal for his teams. Oh. Okay. Let's take Blasco. Oh, it's another defenseman. I'm not ready for that. Okay, tell me about Felix Ian. Could play both sides. Isn't in for the money. Is not really adaptable. Is not known to being one guy who can score. Ooh, now that is a red body. All right. Ooh, look at this guy, a Japanese guy. Oh, his arms are red. Oh, that's too bad. You had my attention. Tendency to disappear when the pressure is on. Disappointing. All right, let's stick near the top. All right, we're going to take Matt Vlajakov. All right. Moving on. And now we're to pick 96. Goalies have been very distant in this draft, which is slightly disappointing. I was thinking we were going to maybe draft another goalie, but doesn't really look like it. P-Wog asked in the chat, will you and Jeff be doing a hockey podcast in the near future? Just hockey talk after the version settles? I can't say we've discussed it. There's lots of podcasts out there. I think we'll probably just end up if I'm honest, we'll probably just end up keep streaming and being able to talk and do things like this. Boy, that is... We're having some not great look in here, so maybe we do grab a goalie. Goalie playing in Manitoba Junior B. Ugh. And he is... Legs are on fire. All right, then. Oh, well, that's interesting. A guy from Israel. Tamir Ben Shabbat. Ooh, his body is red. Too bad. I think I was going to draft him. How about this guy? Samuel Zednik. Oh, arms are red. Man, come on. Okay, how about John? Oh, so red. What's the scouting say? Extremely prone to injuries. Yes. Oh, man. What about Irv? All right, we're going to take a shot with Irv. May not work out because we don't have him fully scouted, but let's find out. Ooh, 2 stars disappear, and we're down to 4 stars. A German playing in for Erie, Walter Koenig. All right. And this may be our last pick in the draft. Still some 2-star talent guys here. A lot of defensemen. All right, how about Timu Manepa? Absolutely, that's the guy we're going to take right there. And is that our last pick? That was our last pick. Huzzah, huzzah. And we will continue now. Let's see. Question from Twitter says, I'm watching this on my TV. This is glorious. What division did you put the Nordiques in? Did you expand the league more than them? No, we did this way back at the beginning of when, just after FHM5 started. This is probably one of the oldest saves someone is still playing, because I can't actually remember if this save was done before the game even officially released. I think it might have been. So let's see what we did. What we did was we put Quebec in the Atlantic Division, and we moved Toronto back to the Western Conference and put them in the Central. Which, ironically enough, let Toronto win the Stanley Cup the first year. They've been fairly successful in the Western Conference Central. And if you're wondering why I did that, it's because if you go back in NHL history, not that long ago, the Leafs used to play in a division with the Jets and Minnesota and a few other teams. I think Chicago was in there too. It's been a while. So now there isn't a huge amount to do. I think, have we decided we're not re-signing Manson now? And going to let Adam Lowry walk to free agency, and we'll kind of see what goes from there. So now we got 3 guys joining the team. Caravelis is not getting 51 because we do not want to upset. Toilet wants 27. He can instead have 72. He's a bit upset. Well, that's too bad. And Sterling Rutger wants 23. It's gone, so he can have number 32, which is an odd number for a forward, but hey, that's what he's going to get. So if we let, and I think letting Manson go is the correct call. I just couldn't decide on Adam Lowry. But Adam Lowry wants a raise and a 3-year deal. If we don't find the guy we like, I wouldn't mind bringing him back on a 1-year deal. I think that would be okay. But we can see, like, letting Vladar go is fine. Let Adam Ginning go is not a loss. Cop 2, we're waving goodbye to Cop. He's been a good soldier, but 2 stars now. We're going to let him go. Max Jones has been fine, but he really hasn't took that next step we were hoping. Jackson Nelson was a draft pick a long time ago, just has never got off that 1.5 stars. Keenan Washkuruk, just 8 games, like never put up a point. Not good enough. Spot check's been a good spot filler, just not good enough. Alex Correct, just not good enough. So we're going to wave goodbye. So 11 guys going means that we currently have 49 contracts. So we'll clear up some contract room. In the meantime as well, I can't offer anybody deals yet, or I couldn't offer many people deals yet. Speaking of which, let me just look here. 24 or so. Andreas Anderson is becoming a free agent. But you know what? He's only at half a star. He's never developed, so not a loss. Andrew Harrison is at half star. 20 years old. Has never really developed, but he did finally put up some points. Okay, so maybe we get him under contract. Anybody else? Liam Watkins got to 1 star. Okay, if that's the case, hold on a second here. Let's go back to our roster. Okay, Juicem is there. Sterling Rutgers going to have to go back down to Kelowna, and that clears us a contract room, which means we can offer both those other guys contracts right now. Liam Watkins and... No, we're going to let Anderson go. Harrison was the other one. And that puts us at 50 contracts if both of them sign, which I'm assuming they would. Now, if you're wondering what I meant by maybe a little bit of FHM6. Now, if you tune into the stream or you listen to the OOTP Now podcast, which is available on all your podcast providers, as well as our YouTube channel, youtube.com/OOTP Developments. You can hear the recording Jeff and I did with Rich Grisham. One of the things I'm kind of excited about is being able to import your FHM5 saves into FHM6. And, well, the thing about doing that is you need to be on July 1st. So that's why we decided to do the draft. That's why, okay, he came back again, so we're going to send him back down again to make sure we have that contract room clear. And I'm going to try and get this save put directly into FHM6 and open it up so we can do free agency. Now, keep it in mind, this is still a beta. We are still testing things. So if something goes not as good as it could have been, that's why. But we're going to try. That's the most important part. Players need to be signed to their new deals. Okay, so Harrison signed. Awesome. He wants 15. Well, he's not getting it. He can instead have Sidney Crosby's 87. truth is, even though we signed him, oh, I can still send him right back down to Quebec. Let's do that then. That there still could be the odd thing pop up that doesn't quite work. And Liam Watkins has now signed. So that's good. He wants number 11. He's not going to get it. We will give him number 70. And so one of the things, for instance, that we will likely see is in the test games I've run is messages, for instance, haven't come through yet. Not sure why. I think they're still looking into it. So that's just one little thing we got to make a little note of and check before we try and change the save over. So right now we got 8 points. So we're just going to spend some time moving some stuff up and increase our coaching skills. And so you can see now we're on June 30th, which means we need to continue one more day. Now again, in case this is the first time you've ever watched us do this, June 30th is a very big day for the game. It's the day when the database basically flips over. So it can take a bit of time. What you have is players retiring, new players being generated. All the league stats are shifting. So there's lots of things going on in the background. So it's possible it can take a bit of time on June 30th to actually go through and move. And that's why, because we do occasionally get that question, why is it taking so long? There's literally thousands of things going on. And again, there is thousands of new players, coaches, scouts, etc. being generated on this day or being retired as well. And so we continue here. And hopefully we get done here very shortly, and I'll show you exactly how you will be able to import your FHM5 saves. Which again, number one most important thing is got to be on July 1st. So if you're not on July 1st, you need to get there. And if you're wondering what will happen on our regular Wednesday night stream, now Jeff kind of alluded to it last week. He is probably not going to have enough time to be on the stream on Wednesday, so it might be me, or maybe I'll see if somebody else will join me. I don't know at this point. But I'll be streaming Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/OOTB Developments, where we are going to play our Quebec Nordiques 2024-2025 season in Franchise Hockey Manager 6, assuming everything goes well. If not, we'll do something else. But through our first test, everything seems to be going all right, and we can go over kind of some of the new stuff that's in it as well, or dive into a few more things. And you can see now, okay, so some things have happened. Some coaches have retired, and we're just looking to see if anything affects us. So we actually lost our owner. All right. So that's interesting. Our owner has retired. Okay, we have lost probably our number one scout, Lauren Goulet. So we'll have to look to see where we lost him. And let's see some trades. All right. So board confidence update. Your objective was reach the playoffs. You not only did this, but you also won the Stanley Cup Finals. Hooray! New broadcast deal for Quebec. And just taking a quick look in case we got some surprise retirement. Doesn't look like it, though. Ghost Bear drops again. Come on, Ghost Bear. Stop losing stuff. More retirements. Blake Wheeler retired. Jonathan Taves retired. So we're definitely not signing him, I guess. And that's it. All right. So here's what you need to do. Now, most people will know how to find their saves. If you don't know how to find your save, it's pretty simple. There's an easy way to do it. If you go back to the start screen in FHM and you click on settings, and then you come over here and you go down to troubleshooting and you click on open customizable data folder, that will bring you to wherever FHM5 is stored. So I'm just going to close down FHM5 right now. And so we can see here all of our lists. The folder we're looking for right here is Save Games. All right, so I'm just waiting for FHM5 to close on my system. And because it is saving, it might take a minute. Which it is. So if you take screenshots with F12 as well, you can find your screenshots in the game here. But we want to go to Save Games. Sorry, I have the debug mode on, so I'm just going to close that. And I can see all my saves right here. This right here, Quebec Nordiques Team Remake, is my save. So I'm going to copy it. And now because I have it pinned, I'm going to go to Franchise Hockey Manager 6, which looks the same as 5, but this one is 6, you can see. The other one was 5. Go into Save Games, and I'm going to paste my save file. Puog Zetterberg unretired. Okay. He'd only be, what, probably about 42 at this point? 43? So you're going to have to wait a minute because, again, the save file is pretty big. That's transferring. Or rather copying. I'm just copying it because I like keeping a few extra of things around. And you can see it's going from Save Games to Save Game, FHM5 to FHM6. And I'm just going to blank my screen here for one quick second. Just so I don't have a bunch of things popping up. And now we can see FHM6 is loading in with this brand new screen that you're probably somewhat familiar with. And you can see now in the bottom, on the bottom bar in red here, we can see where the credits, manual forms, webpage, import FHM5 save. That's what we want to do. So we're going to click on it and we can see our list of our games, and we're going to go to Quebec Nordiques Team Remake Attempt 1. Click OK, and it's going to start loading in. And again, just as a reminder, this is a beta build, and so some things might not suddenly work, and that's okay because that's why we're testing these things, to make sure everything's going as smoothly as it can be. Oops, just going to try moving the screen just a tiny bit there. All right. So the game might take just a little bit of time, but here it comes in, and huzzah. Oh, hey, look at that. All the stories came in this time. All right. That's awesome. So you can see some of the new things, including, I don't know if we've actually really showed this, but now instead of just telling you the team, you can actually see the little logos beside everything. So now we are in FHM6. So if we quickly look at our staff here, we have a new owner who's 60 years old, Shannon Whitaker. Confidence in GM is very low. Oh, that's not good. Job security is at 50. Oh, man. That seems unfortunate. I think that might be a bit of a bug there. I'm going to talk to Jeff about that because that seems kind of unfair. We just win the back-to-back Stanley Cups and our new owner hates us. That's interesting. So, okay. Good to know. What we want to look at here was, okay, Lauren Goulet was on our scouting. So do we see anything we are missing? Current jobs. Okay, we got 2 guys not signed to anything. Okay. Did I see NHL on here at all? ECHL, American Hockey League. I didn't see any NHL guys. So let's put him on the National Hockey League. I believe this was the potential, or was he quality? Oh. Oh, there's 2 National Hockey guys. Okay, so I just put an extra guy there. Oh, no. Okay, there's 2 guys on the NHL. We're going to put Trevor Sprague then on the American Hockey League. Even though he's not his region, he's going to learn to like it. Yeah, apparently not too, huh? So we'll see what we can do there. Maybe he's really upset about us leaving our captain go. So we can see now we have 38 player contracts. So first off, let's go to our upcoming free agents. That's not right. I didn't mean upcoming. I mean unsigned draftees. And look at their information. And no, for instance, we need to get Ignatieff under contract. If you're wondering what the numbers are there, again, I'm running this in debug mode currently, so that's what's going on. I don't really see anybody else we want to sign right now. So if we look at our depth chart here, we can see we probably want to grab another goaltender. For sure, and we'll take a look at, Stahl took a beating there too. Eklund's probably going to be on our... Alright, let's look at our free agents here, our free agent center. So we're going to filter this out. We're going to take away restricted free agents. Actually, let's just start off looking at goalies. And we'll start below age 23. All right, so we have a goaltender named Nick Malik who played in the AHL. 1.5 star, 3.5 star potential. Could be something decent. And then it kind of drops off like a thunderclap there, huh? Let's just change that, tune that up to, say, 25. See if we get any other names that pop out. 24-year-old Jacob Skarek played in the KHL. I kind of like the 22-year-old because he might grow into something. P-Wog says, you forgot you decked the new owner. Apparently not, huh? I'm going to have to mention that to Jeff, and we'll see what... And he wants a 2-year contract. I like that. He's a blue-chip prospect. So when I was talking about numbers, this is what I mean by numbers because I'm running debug mode. Jeff has talked about it before. Okay, so we've asked a goalie. All right. Let's look. Let's do our usual look to of. Helps if you put your number pad turned on. Let's look at 21-year-olds. Anyone jumping out? And the answer is no. There is not a lot of 21-year-olds. Let's look at 22-year-olds. Ooh. Okay, 22-year-old. Rico Tohala. Okay. Oh, tell me about this guy. Elmir Soderblom. Let's offer him a contract. And one of our former guys. This guy hasn't played in 4 years. What is he doing? I'm actually kind of impressed. He hasn't played for 4 years. Keeping the hope alive. Should I offer him a contract just for that fact? He hasn't played for 4 years. I kind of want to offer him that contract. Accurate. 94 points in the AHL. What does he got for... Yeah, let's give him a contract too. All right. Let's unfilter this. We only want to look at centerman. So I could try and look about bringing in Steve Stamkos. He would be an interesting one to bring in, that's for sure. Anze Kopitar would also be kind of an interesting one. There's Adam Lowry. Has he changed his stance? Oh, well, now he's down to $4 million in 2 years. I'm not against that now. What do you think, Duke? Stamkos wants a 1-year deal for $6.9 million. That's pretty reasonable. What's Kurashev want? 1.18 for 2 years. Okay. Just taking a quick look here for a second. Go to roster. We're at $63,564,000. Team salary cap's $87 million. So it's still, yeah, we got lots of room. That's with the 10% increase. So transactions, free agent center. Depends if you think someone's going to be ready for that third line role next year. Well, looking at our depth, Nikkanen might be, but he might be better served as our fourth line kind of guy. But at the same time, we also have, what's his name still under contract? Mason Appleton is also a center. 11 points in 26 games. A 2-year deal with him, we could kind of just... It wouldn't kill us. Let's offer Stamkos a deal. If we could have Stamkos come in and center the second line, that would bump Gardner down to the third line, which would be okay. Still leave Stahl as our fourth line guy. How long do we have Stahl under contract for? 1 more year at 4.73. Tough choice. What's Kyle Connor want? Okay, Kyle Connor wants 4.68 for 3 years. He can play center. What if Kyle Connor became our third line center? Let's take a look at Kyle Connor. Because I don't like not tendering a guy. So he's at 15, so he can play center quick enough. Or two, do you think we should get a jet? We had Adam Lowry, so... Who am I to say? Guess I should see if I can make Nolan Foote another offer. He wants 4.53 for 4 years. Two-and-a-half star talent, 3-star potential. Who is Kyle Connor's too offensively minded? Let's look at his ratings. Yeah, kinda. I'm just... Yeah, he's not very good at faceoffs. Not as good as I was hoping he would be. If we get Stamkos, it's not an issue. But if we don't get Stamkos, what's Kopitar want? 5.25 for 1 year. I do like 1 year deals better than 2 years. You know, why don't we offer... We'll offer him a 4.5. Okay, Adam Lowry offered him a 1 year deal at 4.5. I like that. That's better. I like that. Because that brings back somebody we're familiar with. Yeah, but if we don't put an offer on somebody, they can easily sign with somebody else. All right, let's advance a day and see what happens. So yeah, the front office tab in FHM6 is gone from FHM5. Everything is now underneath the transactions, as you may have noticed me going back and forth with. It was a switch just to make everything a little bit more easy, but it also means you can easily get from roster to free agency pretty quickly. I'm shocked at how mad our owner is still. That's... Yeah, fair enough. From Twitter says the new owner just wants his own guy. That's not unrealistic even after winning a title. Yeah, this is back-to-back titles though. Just rough. So let's see here. Elmer Sotenblum thinks he can do better. Okay. And we're going to let him go. Okay, Adam Lowry had took the 1-year deal, as did Steven Stamkos. Of course he did. So we have actually just doubled our forwards very quickly. And so now if we probably look at our job security, we can see we actually got up 6 because we signed Steven Stamkos. Okay, that's also interesting. It's supposed to tell you why up a +6, so a living legend. So I'll have to report that to Jeff. And we can see a bunch of jobs here. Oh, look at this. Look at this. This is interesting. We could take the Russian national team job. Do we do it? Answer yes or no in the chat. Could also take the under 20 Russian job. Interesting. I think we should take, I think we got to take that Russian job. That's the first time we've ever been asked to take over a big national team. It's kind of hard to say no to that. Austria would be pretty fun too. World ranking 18. Belarus, done that before. But Russia, the number 3 team in the world. Yes. We are going to take over Team Russia. All right, so now we can see our new depth chart. And wow, Stamkos actually comes in. Oh, Stamkos is, we can see, actually regress more after we got him on the team. Ooh, he's red, but he's actually 2.5 stars, not 3.5 stars, which shouldn't be that surprising. And then we got Adam Lowry. Oh, Adam Lowry dropped to 1.5 stars too. Another thing you can see here as well, when we click on Adam Lowry, you can see he is now the son of Dave Lowry. So that's pretty good. And if we look at lines here, we can now see some of the stuff we talked about with being able to lock in lines. So I can lock my first line and say my second line wingers and let everybody else go. Leave Jacobson on there. And so that's what those check marks are for. And I could save my lines if I want to, put a name on them. Or I can go to Assistant Create Lines. But I don't have that many guys drafts. That's my bad. So let's try. Let me just put guys dressed. Stamkos, Lowry. And put Madison there for now. I guess we've got to make a decision on foot too. So now you can see it actually fills in the players, but the guys who I've checkmarked stay where they are supposed to. Overkill of ASE says that's cool. Does Out of the Park have the family feature too? The answer off the top of my head is I really couldn't tell you. I think they do, but I'm not 100% sure on that. It's something we've added this year and continue to add, kind of expand a little bit more. So we can see, too, if we click on, for instance, since our team is actually filled with some of them. Let's see here. William Nylander should have Michael Nylander as a son. And so if at some point when you play in the game, it might turn out that he becomes the father of somebody as well, if you go far enough into the future. So just some little things. And all right, so I think we're kind of... Oh, wait, no, wait. We got to make an offer on Nolan Foote. We're going to offer him $4 million at 4 years. We'll offer him 4.2 and offer him 4 years. And he says, yeah, okay, I could probably do that. So even at that, actually, now it says we're over salary cap space, but we also have 5 or 6 guys on the roster, so I'm not too worried about that at the moment. If I click on Nolan Foote, for instance, we can see son of Adam Foote, which would be as expected. Oh, man, I went to July 1st, and I forgot. I'm sorry. I was going to go and look at editing some of the NHL stuff, look at the rules and league structure, but I forgot because I didn't stop on July 1st. That's my bad. We'll save that for another stream, though. And so we'll continue. With that, I think we're kind of time here to wrap up. We've been streaming now for almost an hour and 15 minutes, and I think that's probably a good spot for us to stop. So we will be back on Wednesday at 10 p.m. Eastern. I'll be moving this game up to the start of the regular season and testing and see how things go. Probably a bit of preseason. Well, to the preseason at least. So thank you very much for tuning in, and we'll see you all then. You can, in the meantime, you come and reach out to us on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/franchise-hockey-manager. On Twitter, we're at franchise hockey. And as always, make sure to come to our official website, which is ootpdevelopments.com. Click on the community button, which will bring you to our official forums. And you can come talk about Franchise Hockey Manager 5, 6, Out of the Park Baseball, Perfect Team, or anything else you want to. And thanks for coming out, and we will see you all again on Wednesday.